Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of our Rogue Deck Showcase. And this week we are featuring the Iono's electric deck, Iono's deck, however you want to call it. But it does feature most of the Iono's trainer Pokemon. I think the only one we are missing is the Electrode, which doesn't really seem to make a good fit for this deck. But what this deck does is center around using Iono's Voltorb as our main attacker for Voltaic Chain 20 plus, and this does 20 more damage for each lightning energy attached to all your Iono's Pokemon, and it takes two colorless costs, but in this case it would be a lightning energy because that's all we play. And you may be asking, well, this is cool and all, and I can see that as a single prize basic Pokemon I can hit hard, but how do I set up all this lightning energy on my board? Well, the solution is fairly easy. It's Iono's Bellibolt EX has an ability called Electric Streamer. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a basic lightning energy card from your hand to one of your Iono's Pokemon. So the goal is to get the Bellibolt set up as quickly as possible and just attach energy after energy after energy across our board, at least having two on the Voltorb. But since this is to any of our Iono's Pokemon, and Voltorb doesn't need to have all that energy on it, we can spread out our energy and try to reserve as much as possible when we need it. So for support Pokemon in this, we only have two Pokemon. We have the Iono's Kilowattrel with Flashing Draw. You must discard a basic lightning energy from this Pokemon in order to use this ability. Once you're your turn, you may draw cards once you have 6 in hand. And this pairs fairly well with the Skwovet with the Nestash ability. Once during your turn, shuffle your hand, put on the bottom deck, and draw one card. So with the support side of this deck, we want to try to get one Voltorb, one or two Bellibolts, one or two Kilowattrels, preferably two Kilowattrels, and that Skwovet. And between the two Kilowattrels and the Skwovet, we can see a lot of our hand. This reminds me a lot of the B-Barrel Skwovet engine pre-rotation. We had that in the Oinkologne video, so if you want to go back and check out when I did Oinkologne EX, it's a similar strategy. We use one Kilowattrel, Nestash, and the second Kilowattrel, and theoretically we can see 10 if not more cards in a single turn. During my test matches, I've seen almost a third of my deck with how much draw and getting out the energy. This deck, when it works, you can look through your deck really quick and power up your board really fast. So fairly simple for the Pokemon wise. Item wise, we play Buddy-Buddy. We play 4 of them. All our basic Pokemon are really squishy, if you want to call it. So Buddy-Buddy is perfect to get our board set up throughout the game. We play Counter Catcher because we are trying to win the prize trade. And it's okay if we go behind a little bit in the early game, because we can make that up by getting 2 prizes while they're only taking 1 at a time. Because as you can tell, the only multi-prize Pokemon in this deck is the Bellibolt, and we only play 2 of them. So theoretically, we're feeding them the Voltorbs or another single prizer every single turn. The A-Spec of choice in this is Hyper Aroma, just so we can get our board set up. I tried other A-Specs, but I really like how the Hyper Aroma feels. Turn 1, you want to go first, get your board set up, and then if you can somehow get this Hyper Aroma with one of our mini Arvens, we do play 4 Arvens, get the pieces that we're missing, and we are off to the races. For energy acceleration, we play 1 Letter of Encouragement. We can only use this if we get knocked out, which we're almost expecting to get knocked out, being a mostly single prize deck. And then we can get 3 basic energy, so in this case that's one way for us to get our energy to attach to our Pokemon. Another way to get energy out is Superior Energy Retrieval. We do play 1 of these, so if we have a lot in our discard pile, we can get 4 more attached to our board. And another way to get energy in this deck is that new Stadium Levincia. Once during each player's turn, that player may put up to 2 basic lightning energy cards from their discard pile into their hand. And we're almost guaranteed to have 1 to 2 energy in the discard every single turn because of Kilowattrel's ability. So we're always discarding a energy off of the Kilowattrel, drawing until we have 6, and then we can use Levincia to get that energy back from the discard and attach it back to our Pokemon with Bellibolt. So everything is super synergistic with each other. Obviously, when these cards were made, Pokemon had a way of us playing it, and I believe this is the deck they want us to pair all these cards with. We have Super Rod for recoverability. We can put energy or even the Pokemon back, and we have a lot of ways to get them, especially with how good our draw is. Ultra Ball, we only play 2. We don't really need more because of the Buddy-Buddy. This is really just to get our EX out. And then for supporters, as I mentioned, we play 4 Arvens. This is our main supporter. We want to try to get one of these every single turn we can, especially in the beginning of the game. We play 2 Iono for hand disruption and really just trying to draw more. We want to draw as much as we can. And we do play 2 bosses in here. Obviously, Gust is super important in this game, especially in this format. And with the ability to really do a lot of damage with a single prize Pokemon, we can try to get the lower multi-prize Pokemon, like get an easy Squawkabilly, get a Pheasantipity, something with 210 HP or less, and not really worry about getting the energy onto a board. So the boss is really good for that. We play 1 Rescue Board as our pivot option. I love putting this on a Kilowattrel because we try at least have 1 at all times. That can be our pivot when we need it. That way we're not using discarding the energy to move it in and out. And I do play 1 TM Evolution. That way we can, if we're stuck in a pinch, we can evolve up our Pokemon quickly, maybe especially the Tadbulb into the Bellibolt, because we need that electric streamer. And 280 is a lot harder to knock out than 60. So I like the TM Evolution in here. And no surprise, we play 19 Lightning Energy. So as you can tell how this is built, we are an energy flood deck. So we're always guaranteed to get energy. This is a good and bad thing because I've played a lot of games where I opened up with a basic Pokemon and 6 other energy, and I drew nothing but energy. So it is it's a catch-22. We want this energy in the deck, but it can cause us to have really awkward hands. So that is the concept of the deck. This is how we're supposed to play it. So in regards to our topic this week with threat analysis, we want to try to get rid of their threats and try to get ahead on the prize trade if we can. That is how we survive. Obviously, the bosses help us out with that in the counter catcher if we're behind in prizes. But we really want to try to identify what can make us get our win condition quicker. And our main win condition is outwin the prize race with single prize versus multi-prize. So with all that being said, let's go take Iono's deck onto the ladder and see how we do. Okay everyone, we are jumping into our first game with the Iono and Friends deck, Iono Lightning deck, however you want to call it. We're going to try to do some big damage with little basic Pokemon. So we're just waiting on our opponent to flip the coin. So as a reminder, we are trying to attack with our Voltorb. Okay, so we have the option of going first or second. I'm going to go first. I want to try to get set up since we are reliant on getting some stage 1s in play. So the sooner we can do that, the better. And our opening hand's actually pretty decent, I will say. So we'll start with the Iono's Wattrel. We have 2 Buddy-Buddy Poffin, so we can get our board set up. We can get energy attached for a turn for to get into a Kilowattrel. We have a Bellibolt to evolve into a Tadpole. So unless we get Iono'd, we have a pretty nice start to this. I'll hold off on playing Levincia right away just because I don't want to do everything, because if I play the Levincia and they can bump that stadium. We kind of need that for our setup, especially once we get going in our turn 2. But on the bright side, we are not going to get donked. We have the Buddy-Buddies, so we're going against a Poison deck, and we're going against a Gardevoir. So we'll see how this goes. So we'll play our Buddy-Buddy and see what's in our deck. So we'll get Tadbulb, and I'll get a Voltorb out. We have another Bellibolt because one's in hand. We have 3 Kilowattrels. Looks like we have pretty much everything we need. We got the Skwovet. We can hold off on that for now. Play another Buddy-Buddy. I want to get another Tadpole. And probably another Wattrel. I want to get 2 of each of these players, because the Voltorb is easy to get set up. So I'm not too worried about that. So I'm going to attach to the Iono Wattrel. Hold off on my stadium for now. And I'm just going to end my turn. So luckily Gardevoir takes a little bit to set up. They're not necessarily attacking their first turn. If they are, it's going to be a TM evolution. We need to watch out for that Monkey Dory. So they put a Ralt on the bench, Monkey Dory, Buddy-Buddy. So they're going to retreat into and item lock us. So I'm glad we did what we did. And hopefully we can just draw into our pieces without relying on Hyper Aroma, because we won't be able to because of the itchy pollen. So we'll see. At least they don't have any energy on board. They have 1 energy in the discard, but that's not too bad for now. So I'm going to evolve up the Bellibolt, start getting some pieces going here. I'm going to preemptively electric streamer to the Voltorb. That way that's ready, so we can at least take out this Budu if we need to. I am going to play the Levincia. I know we're getting them a fresh hand, but more importantly, we're getting a fresh hand. So we didn't draw into what we necessarily needed, but I can always retreat and attack with the Voltorb and get rid of their Budu and kind of force their hand a little bit. Or I can just quick attack and try to hit flip for heads and knock out that way and save this guy. I am actually going to do that, attach to the Wattrel for next turn. I'm just going to do a quick attack. I want to save my bench. I want to see what we can do for next turn. We got tails, so only 10 damage. That's fine. We're going to get item locked again unless they have a nice explosive turn. But that's fine. We can try to figure out what we're going to do. We have boss for next turn, so if they get something scary, we can try to get rid of that. Because right now we are doing 60 damage, 80 damage. Because we'll have to retreat this Wattrel out of the active spot, so we'll have to get rid of that energy. But with Levincia, we can get more energy into play. So at the very least, we have a decent board. Yes, we're getting slowed down because of itchy pollen, but I feel like we can hold our own in this matchup, especially against one of the top decks right now with Gardevoir. So we can easily one-shot that Monkey Dory. They're kind of worried about us, but we can't. We just need 8 energy, really 7 energy in play, and we already got 4. And there we go. We got the Kilowattrel. We can start drawing some more if we can. So I am going to Electric Streamer to the Kilowattrel. Kind of want to. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're doing 120. Not enough to knock out that Monkey Dory. I'm just gonna do the flashing draw and see if we can get 2 more cards that can help us out. What's in our discard? Just 1 energy. Because we have to retreat that. I think we can get that Monkey Dory and get that out of play. If not, we're gonna try. So we are going to Levincia. Get more energy into play. Well, Electric Streamer. and just put some kind of just spread everything out a little bit. We're short. We're only doing 140. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we needed that 7th energy. So we have some options. So we're going to try to get rid of one of the Ralts and kind of slow it down a little bit here. So we'll take the first prize. And since we are knocking stuff out a lot, we don't have a lot of damage for the Monkey Dory right now. However, with having that one Ralts in play, they can easily get a Gardevoir and get damage and start doing the Monkey Dory shenanigans. But they can only do one Monkey Dory unless they play a Crispin this turn, because they only can manually attach to Monkey Dory with the Dark Energy. So I think they're just trying to trap us here because that does have a 2 energy retreat. So they're a little scared. So let's see what they do. They're probably going to item lock us again, because that's what Gardevoir does. They're playing the slow game, making this very bulky. Unfair. Yep, so they're just trying to disrupt us as much as we can. But with having the Kilowattrel, we can draw, we can get the Skwovet, we can even look through our cards more. So this isn't bad, because our board is set up. So even if we somehow lose the game, I can say we tried. And this is probably the best case scenario with being item locked over and over again. I'm really surprised they haven't bumped this stadium yet, and they just did, and we have another one in our hand. So that's not totally bad. So if I can top deck another energy, I can retreat that Tadbulb. They think we can't, but we have a lot of draw. So they play Professor's Research. Let's see what they research away from that hand. They researched a lot of important pieces, to be honest. 1 rare candy, another Monkey Dory, 2 Night Stretchers. So at the very least, they're down 2 Night Stretchers, maybe. So yeah, they're down a lot of important pieces. I don't think they're used to playing against a single prize deck like this, because they are single prize until they evolve, and it's just a lot to really work around. They probably should have bossed up the Voltorb, to be honest, and get with the Mind Bend, but they did not do that. So we're in a really good spot right now. And with the Artisan, I can get that Skwovet out, and we can set up our draw so well right now. This is perfect. So we are going to bump that same with Levincia. We're going to Electric Streamer onto the Tadbulb. Going to retreat this into our Voltorb. Use Levincia and get that energy back. And we're recycling our energy like crazy. So we'll Electric Streamer. Put 1 on the Kilowattrel. Put 1... I'll put 1 on the Tadbulb, but that gets knocked out. It gets knocked out. And then we're going just Flash and Draw. Discard an energy and hopefully just draw a bunch. Yeah, we get 3 more energy. We get Arven. We get a boss. So right now we're hitting for 160. So let's Electric Streamer some more. So put 1 here, 1 here. And we're just spreading out our energy as much as we can. They don't really have anything going on. We're doing 210, 220. So if we really want to boss up and get some more prize cards, we can take out that Pheasantipity. But what I think we need to do, we need to take out that Ralts. That is third threat. That is what makes their deck going, as we talked about with this week with threat analysis. I am worried about that Ralts. So I could Nestash, but I don't want to be left without the supporter, and Arven's a really good supporter for next turn. So we're just going to Volcanic Chain, knock out their only Ralts on the board, and get a prize card and go up 2 prizes. Don't want to get too comfortable with this because Gardevoir is known to come back, and they have an 80 HP Badoo, which right now we can easily one-shot. So if we can continue to just target key pieces, we can do well. However, I believe we use both our bosses, so we just have to react right now. And they're not going to put that Ralt into play. So if they leave the Badoo, we're just going to knock out the Badoo. If they put Screamtail, we're just going to be attacking what they react. And they're trying to go for an easy play. And they know we can't put energy from Electric Streamer on that Skwovet, but it has a 1 retreat cost, so we're fine. And we got the energy, and we got a skateboard, so we can play that under item lock. So we're golden. We'll see what they do. The flip script, they're going through their deck. But yeah, I'm having a good time playing this deck. Actually just came back from a league challenge. Didn't do too hot, but I had fun. I played a nice, interesting deck that we may feature on this channel in a little bit. So they thought they can trap us. We got the skateboard. Let's see. So we're going to retreat into the Voltorb here, because we know we're going to attack. We do Electric Streamers, get another energy in play. I'll put it on the Wattrel, because we're going to discard that. So we'll flashing draw some cards. How many energy? So we can Levincia and get the energy back. I just love this recycling ability over and over again. So we'll get these two back into play, or into our hand, sorry. We'll Electric Streamer. Put that there, We'll do another one here. I'd rather wait on the Skwovet until we get a second Wattrel, and we can't do that under item lock. So I'm just gonna wait. We're doing 280. Like, we can easily one-shot this Gardevoir once that becomes active. So we're just gonna get rid of this Badoo, get up another prize card, and just we'll see how they react. I wouldn't be surprised if they get a Gardevoir in play. Gotta watch out for Screamtail. It can take out a lot of our pieces, but I like how we have multiple of important pieces out, because if they take out our Voltorb, we have another one in hand that we can put back into it. If they take out our Bellibolt, yes, they're getting 2 prizes, but we have another one ready to go. If they take out our Kilowattrel, we can get another Kilowattrel out. And for some reason, if they get the Skwovet isn't the end of the world for us. And if we're not item locked, we can Arven and do a Super Rod. We do play 1 Super Rod in this list. So I think we're in a good spot. And if for some reason they can't get this Ralt evolve, we're going to knock it out. But they're playing Arven. They're probably searching for that rare candy. So they just got Ultra Ball, which tells me they have a rare candy in hand. There's no way. So we'll see what they do. Ultra Ball. They do have one Monkey Dory, both Monkey Dories set up, so that's what they were doing in the background. They're smart. They're trying to get damage onto our board, because of both Monkey Dories, they can take out this Voltorb and take another prize card, so they can take out 2 prize cards and catch up super quick. So we'll see how we can react to what they do. How many energy? They have 3 energy in this card, so not a lot, but nowadays Gardevoirs are not playing a lot of energy like they used to. At least on the psychic wise, they're playing maybe 6 or 7 total. So the fact that they have only 3 energy in discard, that's plenty for what they need to do. Because they can Mind Bend us, that's for knockout. They can do Miracle Force for knockout. They can Screamtail for knockout. They have options, so we are not safe right now. And they have they play a Flutter Mane, which unless they get one of our main, like, Pokemon abilities in the active, it doesn't shut down our whole entire draw. It doesn't shut down what we can do completely. It hinders us, yes, but not completely, because it's only on the active Pokemon. So they try to put the Kilowattrel in play. We can retreat it. We have enough energy around. We're doing a pretty fine job with doing what we need to do here. but they're probably going to put damage, move it, retreat, put damage. So we need to be careful. They can come back from behind so quick. Unfortunately, we used up all our Gust, so we're not going to be able to take out that Gardevoir and get 2 prizes. Interesting that they did that. Oh yeah, because there's only 2 retreat costs. So they're going to move something up. They're probably going to try and shut us down with the Flutter Mane, because I can knock out our Voltorb easily and then put 2 more damage in play. Alongside with the Monkey Dory with this moving this around. So we'll see how they react. They're not taking out the Bellibolt, so that's a good thing. And I wish we have a way to manipulate damage, because 30 is not a lot to do. But that's not this deck. We may play a deck in the future where we can do that, but for the time being, we are focusing on the Iono's Pokemon. So we'll see. Monkey Dory is doing Monkey Dory things. So looks like they're trying to take out one of the Tadbulbs. They're probably going to take out the Voltorb. Adrenal Brain. Yeah, so not going to take 3 prize cards this turn. They are doing 2. They are going to slow us down a little bit. But this is one of the disadvantages of playing a deck like this. We are very low HP Pokemon. I need to get this Tadbulb. Actually, they're going to take out that Tadbulb most likely. Either that or Skwovet. Probably the Tadbulb because they know I need the energy, yeah. So, nice move on our opponent. Getting 2 prize cards. We're still ahead in prizes, but they're setting up for the Hex Scroll for next turn as well. So, and they're making us promote a Pokemon where they can't have an ability. So, what I'm going to do instead, I want to promote the Wattrel. That way, we can still use the abilities on the bench. So we have another Arven. I want to play the Voltorb. Oh man, this is tough. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We still have some energy left. I'm going to play Buddy-Buddy just to look through our deck. I don't want to get any of those out right now. I'm just using this to look. We have that Super Rod, so we can put that back in. And we have 5 energy, so we have some outs. So I'm going to play Letter of Encouragement because my Pokemon were knocked out. I can grab 3 of the 5 energy that's in my deck. I will use Electric Streamer. Get Voltorb. I want to get that. I want to get the Bellibolt set up as well. I am going to Arven. And I'll grab that Super Rod. And I'll grab the TM Evo just to get that out. Because we are going to... So we're going to Super Rod back 2 energy. I want to do another Voltorb. Well, no, because we have another Voltorb in our deck, so we're fine for now. That way we can help with the outs of the in the list. I'm going to Ultra Ball and get the other Kilowattrel out. I know I can't use the ability as is in the active, but we have another one on the bench. So we can start doing our draw and look through our deck. So we're going to Flash and Draw. Get a bunch of energy. We could just knock out with the Mach Bolt and try to force them to hit into this because this is full HP as of right now, but they can easily just do other shenanigans, so I wish we can attack that. So I'm going to retreat into the Voltorb. as it stays, we're doing 220 again, so let's see, what should I do? I'm actually going to Nest Stash, because we don't need to power up our board right now, because they can easily take out our energy and all that fun stuff. So I am just going to just look through our deck. We'll flash draw, see what else we can grab. I'm gonna play the Levincia, grab some more energy and take that out of our discard while we can. But yeah, we have some really good game. This game is going great for us right now. We're doing 220. I wish we had a way to boss that up, but there's no way. Even if we did, we already used our boss for turn. So I'm just going to call it, and we're just going to attack this Fluttermane, go up to 2 prize cards, and hope that they can't do a 3 prize KO to, or 4 prize turn to get the game. We have a good lead, but the fact that we're standing our own against what, number 1 or number 2 deck in the world, it just won 2 regionals back to back. It just shows how good this deck can be. The low HP is a big problem, especially with a deck that can put damage over on my side. So we'll see what we can do, but I am comfortable with how we played this game. We played it smart. Yes, I'm kind of taking a little bit on my turns, but we're able to show how we can recycle and really, in the beginning, see the threat analysis that we did on the Ralton, identifying that is the key component. That's what makes this deck go, and slow them down enough to where we're making them work. And we get Iono, which I'm not minding because we have a lot of draw. So even if we don't see Skwovet for the rest of the game, we have enough ways to really get what we need, especially with a low hand size like this. If we do get behind in prizes and they only need 1 more, we do have the counter catcher to where we can get their Pheasantipity, and we may just play chicken. That may be a good move for us. But the problem is they're going on a 2-2 prize race right now. So we just have to try to stay in it and hope that they can't get to their goal before we can get to our goal. So second embrace, Gardevoir doing Gardevoir things, so they're probably just getting enough. Retreat, use the Monkey Dory to put it back on probably my Skwovet, or they probably put it on my Kilowattrel, get another easy 2 prizes with that. But their bench is a little full, so they're either going to attack us with the Monkey Dory, Roaring Moon, or the Gardevoir. I wonder which one they're going with. They have a 2-card hand, so we'll see. They have plenty of energy in the discard, so they're doing good. So they're going to take a prize card. And I am wondering if we can probably pull this out if they do get down to 1 prize card. Counter catcher up something just to get it. Because remember, we have our Bellibolt fully powered up, and that can knock out that Pheasantipity so much. But that Scream's Tail can knock out our Bellibolt as well. So unless we can find a way to power up this Electrode and take 2 prizes, they may unfortunately get it. But that's what Gardevoir does. They are a top tier deck for a reason. And we are very linear in our actions. They know what we do. We attack, attack, attack. They can kind of play the slow game when they can. So we'll see what they do. Interesting that they're only doing 4. So I wonder what they're going to do, because they're doing, what, 80 damage? So I think they're trying to go for a knockout on our Voltorb, maybe? Or they're trying to get out one of the Kilowattrels. So we'll see what they're doing. So just waiting on their turn, see what all they want to do. But yeah, I went to a league challenge earlier this evening. It was fun. Tried something new. I'm in a place where I don't know what I want to play competitive right now. Interesting. So we're tied up on prizes. So I'm wondering what the best route of victory is, because we're not going to get that Pheasantipity, unfortunately. And they knew that. Currently in room 180. We have 5 energy in the discard. We're not really going to recycle anything else. I'm going to use Ultra Ball and just kind of maybe fail it, or I may get a Voltorb ready for next turn. I'm only saying that because there's really no disadvantage of getting this set up, because they can take 2 more prizes super easily. So I'm going to Levincia, and I'll get this Voltorb powered up off the chance that we can use it. I'm going to flash and draw, get a fresh new hand here. So that's why the Iono wasn't that big of a deal for us, because we can just power up everything. I'm not going to get that Wattrel because they can easily knock that out with the Monkey Dories in play. And then I am going to try spread energy out. Put another one on the Kilowattrel. And discard the Kilowattrel pieces because we don't want to put that back into play. And grab 4 more energy. We're powering this thing up. So we're just going to move things evenly. 300. Yeah, if we have one more, if we had a boss, I can easily knock out that Gardevoir. That just shows the power of this deck. So we're going to Iono them. I know it doesn't really help because we're going to take that out and they have flipped the script, but it's going to make them look for pieces. So I'm not too worried about that. And we're just going to hit for 300 and show how powerful Iono's deck can be. I know it's a little bit of a longer game, but this is 2 essentially single prize decks going after each other. And the fact that I'm taking them down to a single prize card, as I mentioned earlier, this is by far a great way to show how good this Iono deck can be. We're kind of forcing their hand. At this point, they need to take out our Bellibolt to win, because we have a way to get everything we need next turn. So their best game plan is really staying with the Gardevoir and hoping that we can't get to that 310 HP or damage. Hope that we don't draw into an energy and then use Levincia. So that is their probably best game plan. Yeah, they're going all out here. They're trying to get that Bellibolt. If they can't get that Bellibolt, we won. So we'll see. They have rest of their flurry 5 cards to work with. We'll see what they can do. Because if they take out the Voltorb, we just need 3. We need 4 energy, and we can get 2 with the Levincia. Hopefully we can draw into 1 and just draw into 1 more. I can look in use Buddy-Buddy, see how much energy we have in the deck. But yeah, they're powering up. I don't know why they're putting that much energy. Oh, they're trying to get a 2 KO here. I see what they're doing. And don't think they can, unless they have Boss put the energy on the Bellibolt, or sorry, the damage on the Bellibolt, boss that up, and get the last 2 prizes. But the fact that we're making them do this much work, or they can just use all the, or can they? How much? They need to do more damage. No, they got it. They're going to get that. I knew this was a liability, but they could have done that with the Kilowattrel as well, or with the other Voltorb, so it didn't matter how they did it. I knew they had game, but that's how this deck is. But we made them go all the way to the end with this deck, and I am happy with that. So, we had game if they didn't. I'll take this, and we'll just go on to the next game and see how that goes. But yeah, that was a great match against Gardevoir, arguably BDIF, if not second BDIF in this format. So I like how we played. We were very strategic with how we use our Pokemon, and we just used being a single prize attackers to our advantage. So we'll go on to our next game and see how this deck does. Okay everyone, we are into our next game here with the Iono's electric deck. We're choosing heads for the coin flip, and we'll see how this game goes. So our opponent will choose if they want to go first or second. We would like to go first, but I know a lot of decks do. So we'll see what our opponent chooses. Last time they chose to go second, which was to our advantage. And we're going to go first. If we play Team Evolution, which we do play one, we will be kind of okay with going second all the time, but we only play that one, so it's not really the best. I'd rather try to go first. So they'll see we're playing the Iono deck because we have that Kilowattrel. So we'll start with the Wattrel here. We have a Buddy-Buddy, so we're going to be able to play and not get donked. So we'll see what we go against, and it's Lily's Clefairy. So this could be either Terrabox, this could be a Gardevoir, it could be a lot of different things. So we'll just set up our board. We'll get a Tadbulb and another Kilowattrel. We'll attach energy to a Kilowattrel, and I think that's pretty much all we have to do for now. We have the Bellibolt in hand to evolve, so we can start accelerating energy as quickly as we can. We can either use Arven to grab away another Buddy-Buddy and set up, or we can use the Iono to hand disrupt them because they have a pretty big hand. Precious Trolley tells me this is Terrabox. They love to go second. They love getting the Arven Terrabox. And what was the other card they grabbed with Arven? TM Evo. Oh no! Interesting. This is a Zoroark deck with Lily's Clefairy? That is very interesting. I see it. You only need one Psychic Energy and you've played a Monkey Dory. But this is very interesting. Very, very interesting. So they're going to churn through their deck a lot. So, yeah. I don't know how to approach this. This is a little bit of a predicament, I think. I don't know. So, I want an Electric Streamer, at least one energy to the Wattrel. I'll do that, just that way we're set up for drawing. I want to play Levincia early, because we're going to retreat this. But do I play Arven, or I'm going to play, I need to see more cards. And honestly, I'm not really worried about their hand. I know I should. But they have plenty of ways to get stuff going. Okay, so we don't have any way to go through our deck. So we're just going to power up this Voltorb just in case. We could high roll here and look for the Skwovet. Or we can wait, because if they knock us out, we have Letter of Encouragement, we have Super Rod, and we can try to do something here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're doing 100 damage to that thing. Is that worth it? Especially with the Monkey Dory? I don't think it is. So I am just going to end my turn. I don't want to get damage on board because they have that Monkey Dory. I don't mind if they use Lily's Clefairy to knock out my Wattrel. I can easily recover that. I have Super Rod. We have Levincia for the energy. I'm not too worried. Plus, that's why we play multiple of this line. So we'll see how we kind of navigate through this interesting matchup. I've seen Enzork before. I play Enzork, but I haven't seen for the Lily's Clefairy, which I get for the dragon. Like Dragapult and Retrieval are super popular, and this is kind of easy to power up, really. So maybe this is something I can look into, and when we talk about Enzork, this may be an inclusion in there. That's smart. Yeah, see, they're getting their board set up. Ends Castle, they're going to retreat, and I wonder what attack they're going to go with. Because they can't really, unless they get Darmanitan. Because that's the problem. Darmanitan is going to be very difficult for us to overcome, and they get it. So they can take out 2 Wattrel and maybe the other Wattrel and get rid of our draw support. They can take out the Voltorb and get rid of our attacker. So these spread decks are very hard for us. Yeah, so they take our draw. So that's annoying, not gonna lie. But we have the Bellibolt and we have the Voltorb, so as long as we're kind of getting a lot of energy, we can knock this thing out. So let's see, what do we do? No point in Hyper Aroma anymore, because we need to knock this thing out. And right now we're only doing 60. So I'm just gonna put this on. Ooh, this is very interesting. Very, very interesting. I can counter catcher up something. I'm going to play Arven, and I'm going to grab Rescue Board and Letter of Encouragement. Because we can probably take out that Clefairy, I'm thinking. I wish we can have another Pokemon in play, but we just don't have that right now. So we'll put energy on here. I just want to see where we're at attacking wise. 140, that'll bring us to 160. We are really high rolling. But I can take out that Darmanitan. That's kind of their main attacker. So right now I'm doing 140. I can do 140 on that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take out their Darmanitan, because that's the big attack that they can copy until they get something else in play. They can't really copy anything else. So I'm going to put a... Actually, I want to put energy on the Skwovet. So if we need to retreat with it, because I'd rather save the Rescue Board for something else, because they can easily knock this thing out. So I am just go after their Darmanitan. Take out their main source of attacks. Granted, Zoroark is their main attacker, don't get me wrong. But right now they don't have anything to copy. They can probably copy a Reshiram once they get that in play. But the Darmanitan is the better Pokemon to copy. So the fact that we were able to do that, it's a win in my books. We are still behind, unfortunately. Excuse me. But we're playing this, not necessarily chess game, because I'm not good at chess. But we are trying to figure out how can we win with the limited board that we have, because it doesn't make sense to put Wattrel in play, which we probably could have, honestly, because we took out the Darmanitan. They're not spreading, but we want to make sure we can get what we can. And if they don't put their Mantan this turn, we can do that Wattrel and have a turn between. Because then we're forced them to either take out the Wattrel for a draw or take out our attacker. So kind of making them think a little bit. They're drawing with Trade, which Trade is an excellent ability here. So they have a massive hand. So if we get Iono, we can shrink that down a little bit. Nope. So we'll see what they do. We kind of force them not to really not do anything. If I were them, I would have probably promoted the Monkey Dory and try to go for a Mind Bend. Because you can't attack with Enzoric unless you get a Reshiram in play. You can't attack with the Lily's Clefairy unless you get a Energy Switch. And they do play some, but they didn't. So we kind of took them back for a turn. So we'll get rid of En's Castle. We'll get the Wattrel out. We have the Kilowattrel in hand. Some energy, so we can get some energy in play here. So we'll Electric Streamer onto the Wattrel. We're doing 180, so we're just shy of that Clefairy, but we can get some damage on that Zoroark, but I kind of don't want to deal with damage when they can just put that back on us. So I'm actually just going to... I'm just going to end. I don't want to attack. I don't want to put that damage in play that they can use to one-shot us. Granted, they only got one Monkey Dory, but if they get two, that can get rid of that Wattrel that we tried so hard to keep. So we'll see. They're probably going to take out that Voltorb. That's so easy. But yeah, we're making them use resources. We're making them find things. And we are staying behind in the prizes, so they can't use cards like the Counter Catcher. We're making them use Boss. And their hand is massive, so if we can get Iono, we can shrink that down. If they take out a Voltorb, we can figure out what to do with that. So we'll see. So get the Reshiram, so they can copy Virtuous Flame most likely, because we didn't put damage in play. So they'll probably do that, but they can't retreat. We took out the End's Castle, so they need to find that, even though they have a massive hand and they only played one. So the likelihood of them having it, especially being through 80 if not 90% of their deck, they went through a lot of their deck. So they're gonna Iono themselves, so kind of bad for us, but we see more cards than they can. And we still get the Wattrel, so we're fine. We get the End's Castle, so that's what they were digging for. They're going to Virtuous Flame us, knock that out, get a prize card, get up 3 prizes. But we can try to get 280 on this Night Joker, or we can try to go after Reshiram some more. So that's why I wanted to put the energy on the Skwovet. That way I have a decent retreat option. Not the best, but it's doable. Okay, we get the Iono's Voltorb. We'll play Levincia. We'll grab some energy from the discard. We'll Electric Streamer onto the Voltorb here. We'll keep that in hand for now. We'll evolve this up. Actually, we will... I'll put on the Voltorb. doesn't matter. We will flash and draw and look at some more cards here. Get another Voltorb set up. I'm not too worried about having multiple of these because they don't have that Darmanitan in play yet. What I should have done was Nest Stash first, honestly. So I'm going to retreat. I'll bring up the Voltorb. I'll bring up this one. How much damage are we currently doing? We're doing 220. So we need to get 4 more energy in play. Or I can go for the Lily's Clefairy, or I can slow down a little bit more and get that Reshiram. I know we can tie them up, but I want to play that. I'm not going to evolve. That's more just getting it out of my hand. So do I go for the knockout? Yeah, because they can knock us out with the Lily's Clefairy. It's not that hard. So we'll get 2 more prizes this way. And we'll get 2 more energy. The more important thing is we're trying to negate that Monkey Dory by knocking everything else straight up. That's our goal, because we don't want to do Adrenabrain. They only have that to kind of get damage off, make it easier for them to knock out bigger Pokemon, which we don't have in this case, except for the Bellibolt. And we can't one-shot that the Zoroark with the Bellibolt, so we're going to try not to use that as an attacker. This is our main support Pokemon. Did they get anything with that Nest Ball? And they didn't. They failed the Nest Ball, so that means they don't have a Darumaka. So unless that's in their hand or in their prizes, because oh, they already played it, so they're just trying to live off of that Reshiram. So if we can get that Reshiram, they're kind of stuck. I'm not sure how many Reshirams this deck typically plays, and they probably would have got a second one off that Nest Ball. So that gives us a lot of information. They're flailing here. They can take out the Voltorb, but we have another Voltorb set up. So yeah, Solar Bossing. So they're trying to take out that Bellibolt, but they can't, if I'm not mistaken, because they have no damage counter on Pokemon. So all they can do is 170. Unless they're trying to bait us out and attack and try to do some attack to the Zoroark. So that's what they're trying to do. They want us to attack into there. So how many energy do we have? We have 3 in the discard. Okay. Going to get some more energy in play here. Going to Nest Dash before I do the Wattrel play. Boss. Cool. This is actually very important here. We'll get some Levincia. Get that into... here. Actually, I'm going to try this. I know we're not getting up on the prize trade here, but if they have nothing to copy, they can't take us out, right? So I'll flash and draw just to see what else we can get here. Get a Tadbulb. We'll get some energy on that. Just get that kind of powered up. And yeah, we'll take out their Ends Reshiram. We force them to get another one in play. And just make them use resources. They can't attack because the way Night Joker work is you have to have an attack to copy, and you can't just copy Night Joker over and over again. It's the same concept with Regidrago when you were able to do Regidrago's attack. You can't just do Regidrago's V-Star attack and copy it over and over again. It won't let you. So you have to have something. So they have to have an Ends Reshiram. They have to attack me. And they have to hope that I can't do 280 to them. And I don't believe I played my Superior yet. So we'll just see how much I'm doing now before I get stuff going here. I'm doing 260. I don't need a lot. And I don't think they recognize that. And they concede. They see the writing on the wall. So we outplayed the Ends Zoroark with our 2 Lightning Energy out for display. And you can see we didn't do that much damage. We were able to identify the key pieces we need and how to really best go around the matchup. So I'm glad we got this, doing perfect threat analysis there, where we identified getting the Darmanitans, getting those Reshirams out because they can't copy any other attacks, and that's what led us to this victory. So I'm glad we did. This deck pulled very well, and it showed, you can see how this deck can do when you get the pieces rolling. Okay everyone, that is the Iono deck, Iono friends, however we want to describe this deck. Only 2 games, but they were pretty long, but you were able to tell how this deck really works once you get it set up. Getting the Electric Streamer ability in play with Iono's Bellibolt EX, and then using Iono's Voltorb's Voltaic Chain Attack. You can see how much damage we can do. We almost were able to one-shot that Gardevoir so easily. We were able to one-shot that Zoroark EX before that game concluded itself. And with the draw power between Skwovet and Iono's Kilowattrel, this deck was really fun to play. The last week I've been practicing with it. I will say the HP is one of the biggest problems with this deck. We are so squishy. So decks like Dragapult, decks like the Zoroark deck can be hard to deal with, and we just have to be able to play around that. Also, sometimes our hands are clunky. We play a lot of energy, and sometimes that's all we start. Luckily, in this video, I was able to not have that, and I was able just to play the game as I can. But I think this is a nice list to start off with. I'm sure there's other lists out there. At the time of recording this video, I looked on one of the big online tournaments the other day, and I saw this archetype actually get top 8 in a big online tournament. So it can do well. We can pair this with Raging Bolt as well and get a good 2 prize attacker, and a way to recycle that energy and just be able to attach energy. Probably a little bit easier compared to normal Raging Bolt, but maybe that's something we can revisit at another time. But thank you for watching this video. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe to us. We're trying to grow this channel, so anything you can do to help us get us out there, we really appreciate it. So thank you, and until next time, have fun playing those sneaky decks, y'all.